Hi guys, today's video is a walkthrough of a plugin called Rate My Post. This plugin allows your website's visitors to rate content on your WordPress posts and pages, and also provide feedback after a rating. The plugin also offers a number of useful widgets and features aimed at increasing your website's engagement. You can go to feedbackwp.com for more information, but right now I'm going to show you guys how the plugin works. Alright, so once you've installed your plugin from the WordPress dashboard, go to FeedbackWP on the left. And here we have a number of different settings that we can use to configure the plugin. But the first thing you'll need to do is install your license key. So go to the license tab at the top, and then you just enter your license key in this field and click on verify license. Now, once your license is verified, you can go back to settings to configure your plugin. All right, so the first set of settings we have is for the rating widget. For the type of rating, we can choose from stars, thumbs, hearts, smileys, or trophies. And to actually turn the widget on, we'd have to toggle this switch right here. Let's quickly go ahead and view an example. We'll click on Save Settings, and we'll open our website in a new tab. We'll click on one of our blog posts, and we'll scroll all the way down, and here's our rating widget. All right, now let's go back and turn on the result widget to see what it looks like. We'll just toggle this switch here, save our settings, and we'll just go back to the site and refresh the page. If we scroll all the way up, we can see it right here. Okay, let's go back. So if you turn on the next option, you'll receive an email every time somebody rates your post. You can also turn on the one right under to prevent accidental votes. There is also an option that enables AMP compatibility. And if you'd like more information on this feature, you can always click on this documentation link. And by the way, I'll be leaving this link in the description down below. I just want to show you an example of the rating widget at the bottom. It's right here. It says how useful was this post. Click on a star to rate it. There's an average rating of 5 out of 5. Although the vote count is just 1. So in this example, you can see what happens after you leave a positive rating. Alright, so moving on, we can take a look at some more settings. Regarding rich snippets, you can choose the type of structured data from this list. By default, it's set to without structured data. And moving on to the next option, this lets you exclude the rating and results widget from specific posts and pages by simply providing their specific post or page IDs. You can also choose the point at which a rating is considered negative. For example, if you put in 2, any rating 2 stars or less will be considered negative. Here we have the rating widget alignment. It's set to center by default, but if we want, we can go ahead and change it to left or right. Let's see what happens if we change it to left. I'll click on Save Settings and I'll go to the website. Let's refresh. Now, if we scroll down, we'll see that the widget is now placed on the left. Let's go back. So the next option lets us add the rating widget to all pages, and we can do the same for the result widget. We can also show text when someone hovers over a star. So I'm going to turn this on and show you an example. We'll go back to the website and refresh to see how this works. So now if I hover over a star, we can see somewhat useful, useful, and so on. You can always change this text in the customize section, which I'll cover in a second. Alright, so moving on, you can choose not to show the average rating, and you can also choose to delete cookies when the page loads. Okay, so we can go ahead and move on to the next section, which is feedback widget settings. You have the option to show the feedback widget if the rating is negative. All you would need to do is toggle this switch, so I'm going to go ahead and show you an example quickly. Let's turn this on and save our settings. And if we go back to our website, we can refresh the page. And let's leave a rating that's considered negative based on our settings. So if I leave a 1-star rating, we'll see that the feedback widget pops up, which you can use to provide feedback on our experience. By the way, we also have an option to send an email when feedback is left. Now, moving on to the social widget settings, we have an option to display the social widget if the rating that's left is positive. But you would need to go ahead and provide your social media page URLs in the fields provided. We also have an option to show social share links instead of social follow links, so you can always turn this feature on if you need to. Moving on, we have custom post type settings, and the first option lets us add a rating widget to custom post types automatically. All we need to do is go to this field and type in the post type, and the same could be done for the result widget. Alright, now moving on, the next section is archive pages, and this section has one option which simply lets you display ratings on archive pages. Then we have advanced settings, and the first option is a multilingual website compatibility mode. So if your website is available in multiple languages, you should enable this option. But for translation, you'd need to customize your strings through your plugin and not from the Customize tab. And next, we have an Ajax load results option. And according to this guide, if you're utilizing page caching, you should enable this option. There are some options which are listed, such as WP Super Cache, Lightspeed Cache, WP Fastest Cache, WP Rocket, and SG Optimizer. There's also an option to delete all plugin data once it's uninstalled, and finally an option to disable the clearing of cache. Also, if you need to, you can click on this button to reset all of your settings. Alright, now let's move on to the Customize tab. And basically what we could do here is customize the strings for our widgets. So for example, if we take a look at this rating widget, we can see that it says average rating. So we can go ahead and change this text to something custom if we want to. All we would need to do is find and customize the string. So in this case, we would go back to our settings, and I'll just go ahead and change average rating to rating. Okay, let's click on Save Customization Options, and we'll go back to our website to see what happens. If we refresh the page, we'll see that the text now says rating versus average rating. So that's really all there is to it. If you want, you can go ahead and make changes to all of these other strings. And if you scroll down just a bit, you'll have access to strings for the social widget as well as the feedback widget. Now below this, we have global styles, which can also be customized. So you can make changes to a number of different elements of your widgets, such as fonts, buttons, borders, and so on. I'm going to go ahead and show you one example where I'll change the global title font size. Let's just make this about 80 pixels. And we'll save our customization options by clicking on this button. Now, if we go ahead and refresh our page, we should see this change. All right, now let's see what happens if we scroll all the way up and go to the Security tab. We'll click on Security, and first up, we have the Privileges section. We can choose which user role could manipulate ratings. The default option here is Author, but we also have Editor and Admin. Next, we have Who can rate posts, and that's either everybody or logged in users. Moving on, we have options to track users via IP address, and just keep in mind that this feature is not GDPR compliant. Then we have an option to prevent double votes via IP, and the final option in the tracking section lets you see who rated your post and left you feedback. This plugin also supports Google Recapture version 3, which can help you minimize spam ratings and feedback on your website. In the Tools tab, you'll find an option to migrate ratings from similar plugins. Now, there is a section named Danger Zone, and this section has one option which lets you delete all of your plugin data. And finally, we can go to the Support tab, which simply has an option that takes you straight to the documentation page. Once again, I'll leave a link to the documentation in the description. Thank you for watching and see you next time.